Hey guys, it's Dave Schluter. I'm coming at you from my work at home studio tonight, bringing you out a shocking MLM confession. A confession that directly involves you, that stands to benefit you guys if you'll just stay tuned with me. Brought to you, of course, by DaveSchluterOnline.com. Also brought to you by DaveSchluter.EmpowerNetwork.com. Come on over, check out these blogs, sign up for some free training on these sites. I think it's really going to be of your benefit to do so. You might want to go all the way through this video today, though, to find out and make sure we're on the same page, guys. If you've been following along with me for a while, I told you that I was going to be making a revealing confession about some things and that I was going to be doing it very soon. And I'm going to be doing that tonight, as a matter of fact. It is D-Day as we speak. I'm going to be uncovering the truth, guys, about some things that have been hidden, honestly. I'm just going to be really transparent with you, as transparent as I can be, about myself, and about some things in this industry, things you may not be aware of, or you might be aware of. We're going to take a shocking look into the past to see what was. And we're also going to take a revealing look into the future and see how things are going to be today. And when we come out the other side of this, guys, some of you are going to be empowered. Empowered more than you are right now. Empowered to stand with me. Empowered to stand on your own and be that much more prepared and equipped for success in this industry, and I believe for success in life. Others are going to leave. They're never going to return. They're probably not going to look back. They're going to be scared off by today's information, or they're just not going to resonate with what comes out. And I'm not sure which one you're going to be. We're going to have to get to the end of today's training to find out. And guys, I'm going to try and keep it short, but I do sometimes have a tendency to ramble. But this is important stuff. If you guys can stick up with my rambling today, I will get you out the other side. To bring you up to speed, to have you understand everything that I'm about to reveal and why this is destined to be such a major and important turning point. It's necessary for me to tell you a story first. In fact, we have to go all the way back to 2004 just to get started. In 2004, guys, I was riding a high in my life, in this industry, it's of online marketing, etc., like never before. I'd been studying principles of online marketing. I'd been studying wealth creation. I'd been studying the principles of spirit, guys, and what works in the universe. What lies behind recovery, what lies behind miracles of change and healing and success in people's lives. And I'd been applying it in my own life for quite a while, everything that I'd been learning. And it had produced really a miracle of sort in my life. So much, in fact, that my friends, my peers, people I hung out with, really took notice. They wanted to know what it was that I was doing differently, and they wanted some of what I had. And that really started me off on a life path of success mentoring, of sharing, spreading the wealth that I had learned with other people, and sharing my experience, my strength, and my hope with people. That was really my intention. I wanted to share what I had experienced, what I had, what I was bubbling over with. It got me started writing a book. It got me started creating a manual, eventually a training course, to help other people like myself who were interested in experiencing a major life change in their finances, in their emotions, in their spirit. It became my first product. I called it the Make It Real System. And it launched me into my first venture into online marketing with my first product, my first business. I'm going to try and keep this short, like I said, guys, as brief as possible, but I want to let you know, it's important that you know what happened, so you know what's coming, and then you'll know why I'm making this announcement and why it's so critical that you're on board with me at this period of time, and how that's going to affect you and your business and your life going forward. What I do want to let you know is I had done a tremendous amount of work on myself, a tremendous amount of research. I had invested in myself, in my training, etc. I had done so heavily up to that point in 2004 to arrive at the point where I was at and begin getting the results I was. results that I was getting was I finally had a fantastic, amazing social life. Really, for the first time in years, I had the girl of my dreams. I had an up-and-coming business. I had my own product. I was online, and I was really being the person I wanted to be, the best me that I had ever been. A tremendous amount of respect and love for myself. And it was a far cry from where I had been a few years before that. I basically had found the principles of success, of charity, of love, and I was living them at last. And the universe was responding to me in a kind fashion. I like to say that I was moving with and flowing with the flow of success and abundance in the universe rather than fighting it or swimming, cross currents or whatever else like I had been doing and like so many people do with their lives. But what happened to me was this, guys. Even though I was at the top of my game, I was finally tapped into that land of milk and honey that everybody wants. Some things were about to happen to me in my life that were, they were going to change the direction. They were going to change my life, alter my destiny forever. You see, I was deeply in love at this time also. A love like I'd never had, like I've never experienced, or a love like I'd never been in before in my entire life. I was in love with her. I was in love with me. And like I said, I was in love with life in general. I was in love with creation. And I was just flowing with that beauty and that warmth every day. Can you imagine that for a minute, guys, what that was like to, if you see yourself just finally arriving and living your dreams, being the best you that you've ever been, and just flowing in that current of abundance, that current of success in your life. Can you put yourself there in that picture for a moment? Because that's where I was arriving. That was where I was coming. My garden was in full bloom, and it was beginning to bear fruit finally, and it was beautiful. But then one cold and rainy, dark winter night, really without warning, it all ended. It all began to tumble down before me. My heart was really was ripped from my chest. It was dashed into a million pieces. And maybe some of you can relate to that. Maybe some of you have suffered immeasurable pain or loss in your life, heartache like nothing that anyone could understand or imagine. Maybe some of you have lost a loved one or had your heart ripped out suddenly without warning by someone you loved that was the closest person to you. Maybe some of you have lost your health and you can no longer continue to be the person that you were or function as the person that you were before. Maybe some of you have been betrayed by the closest people to you in your life. A loved one or family, friends, or your support group. Maybe some of you have lost businesses, or you've lost a home or property or everything that you'd worked for with everything that you had, and suddenly just had it torn away from you without rhyme or reason. But for me, it wasn't just one or two of these things. For me, it was, in fact, all of them happening to me in a rapid succession of time. It just, like dominoes falling, it catapulted me into a extremely dark, desolate, and deadly place. I couldn't effectively process everything that had happened to me and that was happening to me in such a short amount of time. I grasped for understanding and something to hang on to, but it was as if someone had suddenly changed the spiritual and the physical laws of the universe, and I no longer knew what to believe, how to believe, where to stand, how to function, or how to move on. I was in an alien world that I'd never been in before, and I felt really, truly all alone in it. And I don't know if you've ever been there in life before, guys. Maybe you have been. Maybe some of you are there right now. I don't know. If you've gone through that or you're there right now, you have my sympathy. You have my understanding. My biggest problem, though, was this, in trying to move on and trying to recover and trying to get better, was every time that I would think about success, every time that I would think about business, love, rebuilding my life, pursuing what I felt was my calling, my life's dreams, whenever I did that, I was suddenly cast back into that pain, into that horrible feeling of loss, of betrayal. Each and every time, it just put me right back into hell every time. And I don't know if you've ever listened to Tony Robbins teach, and teach specifically about triggers. Triggers that instantaneously produce a massive state change in a body at a physiological level, emotionally, mentally. Your heart rate changes, your skin flushes. Can make you upset to your stomach and instantly thrust you into depression. That kind of state change. Every time I think about these things, every time I think about business, principles of success, the work that I'd done, the books that I had read to help build my life, love, or even my own product, jumping back into that business, trying to talk about these things, sell these things, market these things, etc., it instantly would trigger all that pain. I would have that state change, all that resentment, all that fear, all that hurt and harm that I was trying to heal from would just come flooding back. And so what does all this have to do with my confession? I know you're probably wondering. This revelation, how it's going to benefit you. And I'm getting to that, guys. Just hang in there with me. We have to know what happened to see where we're going. What happened was this. I spent a very long time down and out, trying to get back to being okay, trying to make heads or tails of the situation, trying to understand, trying to heal. And it took me to places that I swore I would never go. It took me to poverty and into depression, into alcoholism. Everything I knew that I would never fall into again or fall to in my life. And yet there I was. I had arrived in it, face down in the mire of my own existence. I couldn't figure out how I had arrived there. After all, how could I, a success mentor, a guru, a guy who had a product out there, a counselor, sink so low? How could I, with all that great wisdom, that life that I had built up, that refined technique and a system for success, how could I fail so miserably? I'd certainly never be able to counsel anyone ever again about success. After all, look what had become of me, or so I thought. I was an absolute failure. It was over. And I couldn't get out. I couldn't get out of that grave that I was in, that rut with both ends kicked out, because I couldn't face what worked. I couldn't get back to what it was that I had built my life up with. I couldn't face that because it triggered me. And I couldn't stand to stay where I was at because I couldn't face the fact that I had sunk so low. It wasn't fair. It didn't make sense to me. After all, I had discovered the golden key to the magic kingdom that held all the answers, or so I thought, right? I mean, that's where I thought I had arrived. That's how I thought it worked. But is that really how things work? No, it's not. There is no magic pill, no magic kingdom, no magic key that unlocks you and frees you from adversity in life. There's no magic immunity from life, guys. It happens. Bad things happen to the very best of people. The rich, the poor, the innocent, the guilty, the wicked. And your perfect behavior, your training, all your experience, all your success techniques, everything you've read, everything you've done, can't prevent it when it comes. It just won't stop it. Sometimes it's unfair. Sometimes it's cruel. And I couldn't accept that that's how things are. Not after all the work that I'd done. Not after all the work that I'd done on myself. Not all the effort that I had put in to make things right. All the restitution I had made. All my perfect prayers and my perfect intentions to help and to serve other people. I'd read the stories of my mentors. They had all shared in stories of failure and misery, disappointment, defeat, and pain. But somehow I guess I thought I was special. That I was different. And I couldn't get past that point. That that self-importance, I guess. Believing I was that important kept me stuck there and unable to move forward. And I don't know, maybe some of you are stuck right now, looking for a way to get out of that situation that you're in, stuck in your business or stuck in some circumstance in life that you need to break free from. You need to do something different. You need to get off the couch, or you need to just jump off the end of the pier, or you need to invest in yourself or in that next step in life to reach the next step, the next rung on the ladder, to pull yourself up and out. We're going to be talking about breakthroughs, as a matter of fact. We're going to be talking about empowering people, reaching whole new levels in our lives, and we're going to be moving people into whole new dimensions of success. And we're going to be talking about that later on. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. But for right now, let's get back to our story. And our story is this. We fast forward a few years of this misery now, and I find myself talking with a friend about my life. I'm sharing stories where I've been, what's happened, and how I arrived at the point that I was sitting with them there that day. Because they're like, Dave, what became your life? And they said, that they had this friend that they wanted me to meet up with, that reminded them a lot of me. They thought we would relate. So I met with this friend. We start talking about business, start talking about entrepreneurship, our lives, everything we'd been through. And we did have a lot in common. But after a little while, he whips out a napkin, starts to draw circles and things on it, starts talking about business, starts talking about residual income. I realize he's prospecting me right there in Starbucks as we're talking for his MLM company. And I knew what that was about, because I'd already been in MLM in the past, and it was one of those things that still triggered me. I remember we talked about triggers. It took me to that ugly place. So in this relationship building with them, he eventually coerces me into going to an event to see a speaker with him. A speaker, he said, I had to see, that was really inspirational in his life. He said I couldn't afford to miss out on it. He even paid for me to go. And he was being a friend. He was caring, and so I went to this event to see this man speak. And while I was at the event, that presence, that energy, positive vibe, positive people with hopes and dreams that were doing something, that spirit, that energy somehow got down inside that pain in my heart, that empty want and need that I had. And it began to light that small fire inside me again. And that fire began to warm me, beckon to me to rise up once again, to stand tall and to believe in dreams. How many of you need to do that? Get that fire lit inside of you again. Or maybe your fire's died down. You might need to stack some cordwood on that fire. Stoke that fire up. The fires of your heart. Get it burning again. Get you into some action, creating the lives that you dream of. Well, that's where I was at. That's what I needed. And this small spark started me on fire. As a matter of fact, it started a chain reaction in me. I began to let go of the past, to embrace a future worth living again. Instead of just existing, a future worth living, a life worth having, rather than just existing as I had been. Now, I'm trying to keep this long story short. I will tell you, I didn't join his MLM company. It had far too many restrictions for online marketing, which was something that I couldn't deal with that. But what it did do was it got me online again looking. It got me searching and exploring. Soon I was taking stock of online MLM marketing and everywhere it had come since I had given it up some years earlier. And man, years on the internet are like light years compared to normal years. I mean, you didn't just have to be a rebel like I had been to be doing online MLM. You didn't have to get in horrible arguments with your uplines. I mean, there were lots of people doing it now. They were having amazing success. Companies were getting behind it. There were platforms, tools, and stuff for online MLM marketers that had never existed before. And there was a lot to learn in a short amount of time, guys, just trying to get caught up on it all. And that's what I did. But I also found, as I'm sure so many of you have, there's a lot of BS out there. There's a lot of people out there scamming you and there was a lot to weed through. There was tons of people who said they were going to help me, they were going to train me, they were going to give me the secrets, but they only wanted to sell me on hours of marketing, just blah, 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 blah. No real meat or anything that was actually going to help me to build or grow a business online. I spent thousands of hours weeding through it all, finding mentors, just basically, weeding through the crap, guys. And what happened is this. Eventually, I found a solid product that made sense. It was a product in MLM you'd actually like to have a garage full of, which is kind of rare. I also found the mentors and the training that gave real value. I found products that were real and that produced real results. I found the platforms, the tools that leverage your effort, help you get there, help you shorten the time to success. And I trained and I learned to use them. I learned to apply them, the ins and outs of how those work. But there was also something else out there that I found about online MLM marketing that really troubled me. I found that duplication of success for many online marketers was a real problem. It just wasn't happening. In fact, there was no way, with what I saw, the people I knew, there was no way they were going to invest the kind of discipline, the kind of hours and dedication that I'd watched the leaders and the gurus put in to achieve the level of success that they had. I mean, sure, the gurus make it all sound easy, but when you see the truth, when you learn what many of them actually had to do to produce those results, you'd be surprised. And I knew that there had to be a better way. Something that was more solid, something duplicable. And so I set out to find the systems, the leverage, and the people out there that provided those kind of answers. And I observed greatness. I watched what people like David Wood were doing online. I watched what was happening at My Lead System Pro, what they were doing. I sought out the great internet marketing and business leaders of the time, not just MLM guys, real business leaders, real marketing leaders, people at the top of their game. I studied, and I ended up building, creating, finding, developing a solid strategy. I found systems that work. I found solid solution, but I wasn't building a business in the process, guys. Does that make sense? I was building for a business. I was obsessed with more, as a matter of fact, about creating a system and a strategy that would create duplicable online success, online to create a winning team. A system that would allow people who got in it, who joined with me, the ability to get professional results. The super juicy results that these gurus, that these leaders, these top trainers were getting regularly, but no one else was, guys. And you see, you remember I had failed in the past. I had tasted that horrible pain experience, and I was not going to relive that again if I could control it. I was creating an irresistible offer, a mega offer, in fact, something that would get results. I built a duplicable, customizable sales funnel for my MLM team. I created hours of videos that would train them and show them how to sell the products, videos they could use to sell the products. And I created products for them to sell as well, so they could be making income in the process of building their business and getting people to sign up. I created the marketing to sell those products. I created the marketing that would sell the opportunity, the emails. I got the tools and the systems together to leverage it and the training for how they needed to use it. Basically, I put everything that you would need together to create a massive, thriving team culture of success. The thing that MLM needed, the thing that we were after, that we were looking for. And it had it all, really, guys. I created a membership-only team training site. I hosted the audios, the videos, the PDFs, the product sites, etc. And I was finishing up the final touches, mastering the last details of this master creation that I was creating. And I was ready to launch. I was ready to serve others, give massive value in the industry. This couldn't fail, guys. My moment was literally at hand. And then I got that fateful email. My MLM company, the one that I was building all this for, that I was building all this around, had crashed and it was going under. And my heart sunk, guys. It couldn't be true that this was happening. But it was. That was the reality of the situation. And I licked my wounds for a while, and I just reeled. I didn't know what I was going to do next. Some of those old feelings from the past crept in again, but this time I didn't lose my balance, you see, because I'd already had that other experience in my life. I handled this new one much better. Oh, it still sucked, guys. And there were those moments of why that hit your mind with that endless loop train of thought that never ends anywhere good, never gives you a break, and never gives you a solution. There was still hurt, there was still loss, self-doubt, remorse. But I got back up, guys. I stood up and I got busy. And maybe there are some of you listening to this right now that need to get back up. That need to get off the couch. That need to stop licking your wounds and get into action. And that need to whip out your credit card and just get in. Or that maybe some of you that need to just jump off the end of the pier of what you're doing right now and take that major next step that's going to get you to the next level. And you know what it is, but you just need to do it. I took a look at my options, and I considered them well. I saw where the majority of our business team was going, and I considered the opportunity, but it just wasn't right for me at the time. I needed to do something else. I dug deep instead. I got really introspective, and I sought out my mentors. I sought out those I trusted the most in business and those that I trusted the most in spirit. And I took a new look out there at what some of the people I respected online were doing. I took a look at what Dave Wood and Dave Sharp were accomplishing with people who had never succeeded online before. I looked at everywhere that Empower Network had come from and the incredible growth and the success that they had experienced in the last solid 18 months together. I took a look at their track record, their commitment, their continued commitment, I should say, to challenge the limits of what's possible in the industry and to tell the truth about network marketing. And I did what I'd already really been wanting to do for quite a long while, and what I had planned to do, but I had found myself too busy to do in the past, and I just got in. It was the right time for me. And what does all this have to do with this confession, how it all stands to benefit you? And I'm getting to that now. This is it, as a matter of fact. This is what we've all been waiting for. The shocking confession, guys, is this. I'm just going to be as transparent as I can be with you at this moment in time where I'm at today. Right now, today, I have no great and abundant, thriving team online at the moment. That's just how it is. I was building for a business. I was building for a launch. I was building for the future. I was in an MLM company. I was building a list, but I wasn't growing or building that business in the process. So regardless of how things may appear to be online at the moment, I am in fact starting over once again as we speak. That's just how it is. At the time of writing this, it's really a period of regrouping, of reevaluating, repurposing, and setting a clear strategy for the future. A future that's bright and abundant. A future that I'm going to be building with some of you, as a matter of fact, because that's what this is about. Maybe some of you are there with me in the same kind of place right now with your business or in your life for that matter. I don't know. If you are, welcome on board. I understand this is a good time. The shocking revelation is this, and this is what's in it for you, guys. I was planning to repurpose much of my content, that training, those products, make them more generic in nature to benefit other network marketers, basically. Not just people on my team. And offer that team training site, all that I'd accomplished, as a paid membership site after I do the work on it. And it would be awesome to do so, guys. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of training, awesome bonuses, step-by-step how-to, motivation, business building magic to get you started, to get you rolling, and take you into creating success online. all of that wrapped up in what I created. In fact, they are awesome products that anyone would be happy to own and to have, and would be an asset. But after spending some time with Dave Sharp and Dave Wood, getting to see the direction that they're headed, to feel their hearts, to know the spirit of the culture that they're creating with Empower Network, guys, it's really something special. And I've changed my mind, at least for the moment. There is something bigger and better at hand here, I think, and I want to be a part of that, and I want you to be a part of it too. I'm actually going to be repurposing that content, much of that content, and training it down to people that are just on my list, guys, just that are just opted in with me, and people who follow my blog. And I'm going to be packaging it with this new series of training that's coming from the Daves and Empower Network, and I'm going to be putting the two of those together on the site. And together, the two of those combined is going to provide you an unmatched advantage, guys, for you to begin creating your successful online business and begin to create the champagne and chocolate lifestyle of your dreams, guys. I want you to taste that kind of success. I want you to tap into this lifestyle creation series with us. I'm actually going to be taking you on a tour of my team training site, of the product sites that I created in upcoming posts, so you can see the kind of super juicy value that I'm talking about here, the kind of value that I'm going to be sharing with most of you for absolutely free. And you're going to be blown away by this new series. I promise you that. You're not going to want to be anywhere else as we move forward together. You stand to benefit immensely, guys. My loss here is going to become your gain. Everything I've gone through, everything I've endured and suffered, my failures now stand to benefit you directly, guys. That's what I'm getting to. In this way, we redeem that defeat. We overcome that suffering and that pain, and we transform it into a blessing, guys. Are you ready to do some of that? Are you ready to do that in your life? We're going to create a benefit and something good for everyone out of that. And I want you to be a part of that. It actually reminds me of a story that I heard Dave Sharp tell about his early sobriety. Apparently Dave was in a meeting and he was just pouring his heart out. He was just sharing about how miserable he was. How he just wanted to figure out how to just put together a few days of sobriety and just eliminate all that pain and suffering from his life that he is experiencing. And one of the other people there at the meeting just laughed at Dave, apparently out loud. They chuckled or laughed out loud, and Dave was outraged. I mean, to the point he was ready to take the guy outside and fight. Until he had a chance to speak with the guy, and the guy told Dave that all that misery, all that focus on yourself right now that you're going through, all that pain and suffering that you're going through right now, in this moment in life, someday is going to be the one thing that helps save another person's life. And it's going to become the one thing that gets them clean and sober, keeps them that way, gives them another chance at life. And according to Dave Sharp, it has. And I know that became a real turning point for Dave's life, and that his life has never been the same since. And that's my wish for you guys, that somehow as a result of my letdown, my pain, my frustration, my failure, that suffering, that we can take that experience, we can forge it into the very tools, into the inspiration, the power that's necessary for you to succeed with your business, for you to succeed with your life, create the champagne and chocolate lifestyle of your dreams, guys. To change your life in a way that it will never be the same again, guys. To redeem it. To redeem that pain and suffering that we've all gone through to arrive out the other end, guys. So come check out Empower Network if you haven't done so already, guys. You'll find a link down below the video or on my blog or just click on one of the banners. And keep opening every email I send your way, guys. If you're not on the list now, you need to be. Look for super juicy tours of everything that I'm going to be bringing you, of the sites I talked about. Tap in, become a part of this lifestyle prosperity series. that I'm going to be bringing you your way through my blog and through your email, guys. Get on the list now if you haven't done so already. Be sure you don't miss anything I'm mailing your way, emailing your way. Guys, if it's time to make a change, if it's time to get off the couch, time to start licking your wounds, maybe it's time to just whip out your credit card and just get in, guys. Start to make that difference you know you need to make in your business and your life. Keep your eyes on your inbox for more blog tips, more tools, more trainings, more strategies. Coming from me, Dave Schluter, DaveSchluterOnline.com, DaveSchluter.EmpowerNetwork.com. It's been a pleasure training with you guys. Here's to your success and abundance, guys. That's what it's about. Let's take those bad experiences in our life and, like I said, let's redeem them. Let's turn them into the tools and the inspiration that we need to create success in our lives and in the lives of other people. It's been a pleasure training with you guys tonight. I am out.